Okay, welcome everyone. We are going to be looking at some of n terms of a GP. So in our previous class, in our last class, we talked about how to find the first term and the common ratio that will lead to simultaneous equation. So we are looking at sum of n terms of a GP. You can see we have two formulas there. There are two formulas that we are going to be using, and it depends on the value of the common ratio. So the first one is x of n is equal to a bracket 1 minus r raised to the power of n bracket close all over 1 minus r, and you can use this when the common ratio is less than 1. Less than 1 means that once you have from 0, minus and negative, this is the one to use. But when we have a number that is a common ratio that is more than greater than 1, which one are we going to use? This, which is x of n is equal to a bracket r raised to the power of n then minus 1 all over r minus 1 when the common ratio is greater than 1. So with these two examples, it's going to illustrate how to use either of this first one or this second one based on the value of the common ratio. So let's go to the question there. We have number 1 here. Find the sum of the first 10 terms. So our n is equal to 10. So which is equal to, then this is the first term, our a is equal to 4. Then by now I believe you know how to get the common ratio, the second term over the first term. The second term here is minus 12 over 4, then minus 12 divided by 4 is minus 3. So this minus 3, is it less than 1 or greater than 1? You can see that minus 3 is less than 1. So this is the formula to use for this number 1 question. And it says that x of n is equal to a bracket 1 minus r raised to the power of n bracket close all over 1 minus r. Then we are looking for the sum of the first 10 terms. So we have s of 10 is equal to, we have to substitute. Our a is 4 bracket, this is 1 minus our r, which is the common ratio, is, let me use a small bracket, okay, let me use a big one like this, minus 3 raised to the power of, my n is 10, then bracket close, all over 1 minus, the common ratio is minus 3. Let's continue from here, is equal to, so we have 4 bracket 1 minus 3 raised to the power of 10. This should give you a positive, because this is like minus, let's say 3 raised to the power of 10. Because when you have, how will I say it now? When you have any power that is an even power and you have negative here, is going to change to positive. So what you are going to do is that we are going to try to get, let's look at this very well. We are going to try to get this to the power of 10 all over. You know why this one changed to plus? Because this is like minus 3 times minus 3 times minus 3. The minus will cancel out. We are left with this all over. This is 1 plus, because minus times minus is plus, plus 3 is equal to 4 bracket 1 minus 3 raised to the power of 10 over 4. This and this can cancel out. When you simplify this, we are going to get minus, okay, let me try to do this. This is like bracket 1 minus 3 raised to the power of 10 is like 59049. 59049. So when you subtract, we are going to get minus 59048, which is the final answer. Then we'll go to number 2. We have find the sum of the first 20 terms. So we are looking for sum of the first 20 terms. Then that means that our n is 20. Then the first term here is 2. How do we get the common ratio? The common ratio is gotten by the second term over the first term, or the third term over the second term. So we have 4 divided by 2 is 2. Using this formula, first of all, remember what I said when we started this class, that the value of the common ratio will determine the formula to use, whether it's the first one or the second one. So we got the common ratio as 2. 2 is 2 less than 1? No, but 2 is greater than 1. So this is the formula to use. So we have x of n is equal to a bracket r raised to the power of n minus 1 all over r minus 1 is equal to, then x of 20 is equal to, this is, the first term is 2 bracket, our r is 2 raised to the power of, our n is 20 minus 1 all over, our r is 2 minus 1, which is 2 bracket 2 raised to the power of 20 minus 1 all over 1, which is equal to 2 raised to the power of 20 minus 1. So how do you do this? First of all, you need to get 2 raised to the power of 20, which is like punching your calculator or pressing your calculator. Whatever value you get, you do minus 1, then you now multiply by 2, and that is how to get the final answer. So we have been able to solve questions. We have 2 questions here and we have 2 formulas. We have been able to give a question that showed how to use this first formula, and we also give a question that showed how to use this second formula. When do you use this first formula, or why do we use the first formula here? Is because the common ratio is less than 1. The common ratio here is minus 3, and minus 3 is less than 1. Why do we use this 1 here? Is because the common ratio, we got it as 2, and 2 is greater than 1. So see you in the next class.